Hi, I'm Bo, and today we're going to learn how to use the Hamza Marketplace. This video is broken into different sections, so feel free to skip ahead if you know parts but are unfamiliar with others. We're going to start by talking about how to get crypto. We're going to download MetaMask, which is a web wallet that you'll use to make transactions on Hamza. We're going to talk about optimism. We're going to talk about loading your MetaMask wallet, either from an exchange or from an already existent wallet. We're going to talk about bridging from one chain to the other. We're going to talk about connecting to the site and ultimately making an order. Again, I'm going to assume you're starting from zero with absolutely no crypto. That may not be the case for you, and if so, skip ahead to the relevant section. So let's start with getting crypto. You're going to want to use an exchange like Binance, Coinbase, Gemini. I'm going to use Binance just as an example because it's a little bit more widely available. We're going to withdraw it into our wallet. But maybe you don't have a wallet. Right now, all your money is on a custodial exchange, again, like Binance or Coinbase. Let's first go and find the MetaMask extension. Now, I'm using Firefox. If you go to metamask.io, it'll automatically detect which browser you're using. This is a browser extension, so it'll install into your browser rather than a standalone app. So I'm going to install MetaMask for Firefox. Okay, so MetaMask is added, and I'm going to create a new wallet. Now, it's going to give you a lot of information on how to secure your wallet. I would highly suggest you read through this information, then secure your wallet. And the way to secure your wallet is to reveal your secret recovery phrase and then write it down. Do not copy and paste it into anything digital. In fact, it's not even best practice for it to be displayed on your screen, but go and take a piece of paper, write it down. And there's ways to manage your 12-word seed phrase, but that's the topic for another video. Again, for convenience sake, and just to demonstrate how to set up this process, I'm going to copy all these words to the clipboard and then save them in a Notion document because I know that they're going to ask me for it later, but you should write them down. Right? Not store them anywhere online. The reason why you're writing these down is this is the way that you would recover your wallet if you lost access to it. If your computer fried or you just reinstalled your browser or we're trying to get back into MetaMask, the seed phrase is what creates the public-private key pair, which is functionally your wallet. Okay, and you can see once it's written down, then it's going to ask you to confirm that you know what your seed phrase is, and so I'm going to. But right now, I don't have anything in my wallet, and so I need to withdraw from my Binance account and put it into my MetaMask wallet. Now, one thing to notice is that you default to Ethereum mainnet. This is the main chain of Ethereum. It's where all the layer 2 transactions settle to. And I'll talk a little bit more about how transactions and blocks work on mainnet and Optimism. But for now, the thing to understand is that you are on Ethereum mainnet and Hamza.market exists on OP mainnet. That's the Optimism mainnet. So I could add it from this interface here where I just say add network and then add OP mainnet. Or I could go directly to Hamza.market. I could attempt to connect my wallet, and then it's going to automatically add the chain for me. Okay, and I'm going to switch networks, sign the message, and there we go. I'm logged in. I have a new profile created. I could manage my account from here. I get a random name and then my preferred payment currency. This is the first thing that you should do when you create your account is you should set up your, you can input your name if you'd like, you don't have to. You can choose which currency you want to use. I'm going to use ETH and then I'm going to update my profile. Now, this account is tied to this public key here. So you can see in my MetaMask, this account is the one that's in my MetaMask. This is my public key, and this is the one that's also linked to my profile on Hamza.market. So I still don't have any money on my account, either in ETH mainnet or on OP. And so the easiest way to get money from your Binance account, for instance, into MetaMask is to go to this withdraw button here on my dashboard. So I'm gonna ask to withdraw ETH. And so Binance allows you to withdraw to an address. So I would take my MetaMask, I would copy my address, I would enter it here. And then if I had ETH, I would then select which network I want to withdraw it on. And we would choose Optimism, right? And so then ETH would be directly withdrawn to your wallet on the Optimism network. Bing, bang, boom, you're done. And we can start making purchases on Hamza.market. But let's assume that you didn't withdraw to Optimism, but instead withdrew to ETH mainnet, or maybe you just already have a MetaMask. You have money on ETH mainnet, but not on Optimism. In that case, we're going to have to use what's called a bridge. And maybe now is a good time to stop and talk about what layer 2s are and why we would need to bridge at all. And in order to do that, the best place to start is to take a step back and talk about how blocks are produced on Ethereum mainnet. Now, a block on Ethereum is produced every 14 seconds, and it includes a finite amount of transactions. When there's a lot of transactions taking place on the network, there's a lot of competition for block space, i.e. they want their transaction to be included in the next block, and the way that validators determine whose transactions are included and whose are not is by looking at the gas price that the person is willing to pay. The higher the gas price, the more likely it is to be included in the next block. And here you can see a historical analysis on what gas prices have been over the last week. And these numbers don't need to make sense to you, but 7.3 is a pretty low gas price by Ethereum standards. What this means is this is how much a transaction costs on mainnet. You can see a simple swap costs around $8 just in ETH gas in order to be included in a transaction. And you can also see the people who are consuming a lot of gas through transactions. Top one being Uniswap, which is the base of a lot of DeFi, and then below them Tether, which is a ERC20 token. So all of those gas fees are being eaten up in transfers of the ERC20 token USDT. So you see, the more transactions taking place on mainnet, the higher the gas fee, and the more it costs to make an individual transaction. And that's why in the Ethereum ecosystem, we have what are called layer 2s. And that would be something like Optimism, or Arbitrum, or ZK Sync, or any number of other layer 2s that have been developed. Now, you don't have to understand exactly how layer 2s work, or how they do their proving schemes, or how they build their sequencer. That's all irrelevant. The basic concept that you have to understand is that a layer 2 takes a bunch of transactions, zips them, and includes them as one transaction on mainnet. So instead of paying $8.63 for one transaction, you're taking a whole bunch of transactions and paying the gas fee for all of them at the same time. Now, that's not exactly how it works, but it's a good conceptual model to think about why would someone deploy to a layer 2 rather than to mainnet. Okay, so as you can see, I've deposited a little bit of ETH onto my ETH mainnet wallet. But again, we can't use that on Optimism, so I'm gonna go through the process of bridging. Now, there's a couple of different options for bridges. You can use something like Hop, which is what I'm gonna use right now, or you could use something like Jumper Exchange, Layer 0, or you could search for something like Bridge Aggregator and find your own options. But I tend to use either Hop or Jumper on a pretty regular basis. So let's open the app, let's connect our wallet, and then let's send from Ethereum to Optimism. We're gonna send ETH, but you can send any number of other coins, so this is a little bit more generalizable. And then I'm gonna send the maximum that I can. And so you see some of this is gonna be eaten up in fees. I'm trying to send about $30, and so I'm actually gonna pay a fair amount in gas fees just to get it there. And again, these are the Ethereum mainnet gas fees. That's why it just makes so much more sense to withdraw directly to Optimism rather than having to go through the bridging step. But if you are bridging, it is gonna cost a little bit of money in fees. Okay, so it's gonna ask me to sign the transaction. It's telling me what my estimated fee is. And now we just wait for the confirmations. Now, Ethereum blocks are produced every 14 seconds. So this can take, 14, 30, maybe as long as a minute. We can go and take a look at the transaction. We see that it was a success. It's been included and it's been around for about 4 blocks now. And as you can see, it's already been sent out of my Ethereum wallet. I have a little bit left over, and that's fine because you want a little bit of ETH left over on mainnet in case you need to make a mainnet transaction at some point. All right, so let's go check on our Optimism account. See, I'm using the button in the top left to change my network, and hey, it looks like the ETH has arrived in our wallet. All right, so we've installed MetaMask, we've set it up, we've saved our seed phrase, we've withdrawn from Binance into ETH mainnet, we've bridged ETH from ETH mainnet to Optimism. Again, the optimal way to do this is just to withdraw directly to Optimism, but if you have ETH on ETH, we've done the bridging. Now we have ETH on Optimism, and so we can go straight to Hamza.market. We'll switch our network to Optimism, and then we'll go and find a product that we want to order. I personally love a Hamza branded Thai sniffer, just like a little menthol thing that you stick in your nose and breathe in like Vicks Vapor Rub. All right, so let's add it to our cart. And I don't really want anything else, so let's go to checkout, add our shipping address. Okay, cool. And I don't have a discount code, but I'm gonna confirm my order. Okay, and now I'm gonna be prompted to send a transaction for the value of the item, confirm that transaction, and there we go. I've made a payment. The funds are locked in escrow until I receive the item, and I can go and check my order status at any point. Right now, it's processing. So it's yet to be accepted by the seller, but once the seller accepts it, it'll be accepted, and then it'll start the shipment process. It'll be shipped to me, I will confirm that I got it, and the funds will be released from the escrow to the seller. And that's how you use Hamza.market. I hope this tutorial was helpful, and there'll be more to come as we make further developments on the site. If you run into any further problems, feel free to go down and contact us by sending a message to support@hamzamarket.com. Thanks, everyone.